Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
You're
You're muted, Dan.
Still can't hear
says-
you. There he is.
There he is.
It was supposed to unmute automatically. Good grief.
Oh,
Anyway, last man standing. We're here. Bugger it. If you can read lips, you probably
yeah, but not
got
that
the
way.
point of that monologue. Well,
I think it was a short one.
Well, thank goodness. Yes. Look, I don't really care anymore. We're just going to do this. Full steam ahead. Damn the torpedoes.
That's what you said last night.
I already broke her. We've been here for what? 30 seconds and I already broke her.
Oh, shit. The repairs must not have been good. That's what you get for getting cheap labor. So I hope you had a happy birthday, Rich. Good day.
Yes, Rich, happy birthday.
Most of it was spent unconscious. But yeah, I can't complain. I survived it, so.
Hey, I would normally count that as a very good birthday.
Yeah.
Oh. And how's the little butterfly girl?
Not bruised. No. I do have to kind of admit something. This was so my dad back in the day used to do wood burning. So I told him about Joe's channel, about his show, the
The Burning is Love.
yeah. So he's like, oh well, what's the channel? So I give Indie CD, blah blah blah, and he goes, oh, that looks like you. I forgot that Last Man Streaming and Stupid O'Clock streamed to that page too.
Yes, Daddy, but you can't watch them.
So I was like, oh no, you can't watch that. Oh, and he goes, what about this one? I see you there. And I'm like, nope, you can't watch it. He's like, what are you talking about? I go, well, it gets a little spicy. He goes, well, you see, I can't watch them. And I said, well, you can watch them, but don't tell me you watched them, and you're not allowed to tell me anything of what you saw on there.
Wax on, wax off.
And he's like, okay.
Shiny now.
So I was trying to help Joe out, and yeah. So if you're watching this, Dad, I love you. And yes, you guys raised me better than this, but I don't
But then
care
she got
anymore.
in with us.
Then she started hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
They were so repressed that she decided to go the exact opposite place.
Okay, well, I'm just sitting here thinking it's a good thing the green room ain't never recorded.
Absolutely.
And there's a reason for that.
Although, if rumor is to be believed, Thursday night's Last Man Standing probably shouldn't have been recorded either. I might have to delete that sooner or later.
That was
I'm not brave enough to watch it yet.
You almost killed Rich and I, but that was a fun show.
Now wait a
Well,
minute.
last night, Dan and I almost killed you, Donna, and there was no photographic proof of that one. Rich, you left too early. You really did.
I wasn't feeling good, so I need to get some rest.
No,
We understand.
We understand.
I get it.
Okay, who's firing the rocket?
I don't know.
You don't hear that?
Yeah.
I hear it. It ain't coming
Thank
from
you,
my
Rich.
house.
Well, that leaves Rich, I guess.
Wait a minute. Is Joe Dog snuck in?
And have you had Taco Bell?
I can't tell if that's a washing machine or another implement from the same room. Yeah, that's the other implement from the same room, but it ain't my microphone because I'm in here. I don't have the bathroom wired for sound.
Did that stop?
Yeah.
Yeah, just now. And now it started.
Those are the cooling fans for my laptop.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
At least we know what it is now.
Yeah, really.
The other day, I was trying to play World of Warcraft, and I overheated 6 times, and it shut down my computer each time it did it while I was in the middle of trying to kill stuff. So I had the window open, I had this fan on, I had those fans maxed out so that I could actually get through the encounter.
You weren't trying to kill things, you were trying to unalive them. Remember that?
No, I was
That's all
trying to
right.
kill them.
It's late enough, and they're fictional things anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like real stuff.
You're allowed to say kill when it comes to a video game.
Oh, okay. I guess I don't know all the rules.
It's in the instructions.
Well, they change every day, so.
Goodness
I think
gracious.
you're allowed to say kill when it comes to like TV shows and books and stuff like that too. It's just when you're talking about real living creatures and people and such that they get prickly about when the light fades from those eyes.
Mm. Well, I've got a friend of mine from high school that definitely is going, I started to say whole hog in this context. That's quite comical, Daniel. He's unaliving feral pigs in people's property nearby. And evidently in this area, that is a large problem. He has gotten as many as 28 in a single afternoon.
Whoa.
Now these not
That's a lot
only
of bacon.
these not only will destroy crops, but they are a definite hazard to small children walking out in the yard where they should be safe, or hunters in the woods. I mean, you go out after squirrel and you turn around, there's a wild boar running at you at 40 miles an hour.
Oh,
That'll put a spot on the front seat. Um,
and the back seat.
and everywhere you decide to run, um, you
What can Brown do for you?
I was working on a story today that the point of view character gets shot in the shoulder, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know what he was packing other than a wallop, and half spun me around and took me off my feet. But the look in his eye when I stood back up told me that he soiled himself." And then the guy takes off running, or the bad guy takes off running, and then the hero scents the air. He's like, "Yep, definitely soiled himself."
Aw.
And the hero's a werewolf and is tracking him by scent. So,
as you do,
Mm-hmm.
as if I would know.
so the guy is trucking, and the main character is just casually walking. He's going to find him eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Cursorial predators. Yes, we actually our species is that.
Using the Jason and the Michael Myers theory of physics and catching up to prey, moving much faster speeds.
And if my memory serves me, that is actually how we domesticated horses. They'd run away, we'd keep walking. They'd run away, we'd keep walking. Sooner or later, they got
They're
tired.
tired. We still have full energy banks.
You really? Along
Makes
comes
sense.
Jones. And there's probably a lot of species over the eons that we have done that too, and either made partners of them, made pets of them, or made dinner of them.
Or maybe all the above.
Well,
In the case of horses, they're pets. Then they become partners, and then when they're no longer performing, our ancestors would eat them. In German, they call that Hackfleisch.
Yeah. I knew
I
a
don't know
German.
when we stopped eating them in America.
um,
Mhm.
the last time, to my knowledge, they were still selling it in certain grocery stores of not very good repute. Uh, It's like Rodney Dangerfield had a joke that was entirely too accurate. Um, I sent my steak back to the cook. It still had marks on it where the jockey was hitting it. Hey, Rodney gets a pass from me. I mean,
Mhm.
rest his soul. He definitely could deliver a line.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the straight line.
Oh,
He
I
was
like
not,
Rodney.
he's
Like
not
I
the
said,
only one of that caliber. But come along, Pond. Light.
do you have it the right end?
Yeah.
I like how he kind of looks at it first.
I'm just holding it too long. I'm fondling it. I'm not smoking it.
Oh my.
Does this mean I have to start behaving? Nah.
No.
Not unless your dad says he's watching.
You play
Oh,
Cards
I
Against Humanity with your dad, so I mean, is
He's
this
heard-
really?
It's very similar.
I was gonna say, is this really a bridge too far?
But if that's 5 to 6 people seeing it, this is 15 or 16 people seeing it.
But it's still being true to yourself.
Right.
575 people seeing it. No. I don't think I'll live long enough for that to happen.
And 560 of those are in countries trying to get it banned in those countries.
I can see it now. Don's dad watches it and then shares it with all his friends. Oh, you ought to see my daughter on this show.
She's so cute.
This
Yeah.
is what happens when my daughter moved out. This is what happens in her 40s.
Can you believe what the kids these days are getting up to? These days? I was at a birthday party for a teenager today. These days, I really love my grandson, but some of his friends should not be allowed to play with Nerf guns.
My guess is that when Rich was that age, he shouldn't have been playing with the Nerf guns either.
I would hazard a guess that when Rich was that age, Nerf guns were still a thing of the future.
No.
I think they were just coming in vogue.
She does not allowed to have Nerf guns now.
Which means they were like $50 or $60 a piece.
Yep.
We were more super soakers and
There you go.
putting certain chemicals in super soakers that you shouldn't put in super soakers and turning them into flamethrowers. I think the statute of limitations is off that now.
I often wondered why the main weapon for the Scooby Gang and Buffy the Vampire Slayer did not invest more heavily in super soakers. I mean, holy water vampires, hey, gonna fire hose you. That would have been some difficult makeup effects, but still.
Right now, I am reading Grave Peril by Jim Butcher, the third book in the Dresden series. And, it's Harry meets this priest, or doesn't meet him. Yeah, he's over talking to this priest, and the knight, Michael, who is a knight of the Catholic Church, comes over to introduce him, and they're like, "Oh yeah, where do you know each other?" Yeah, and then the priest makes a comment about Harry coming in to get a 5-gallon drum of water blessed into holy water.
There was a Buffy novel that came out where they actually had a priest come in and do the ceremony and bless the water in the fire suppression system. The vampires attacked. I think it was Xander just held up a cigarette lighter and set off the fire extinguishers. Instant holy water in the entire building.
I think they also did that in the Keanu Reeves Constantine movie.
I may have been conflating the two, but I do believe I very strongly believe
I could see it in Buffy as well.
It was in a novel. It was not in something that was filmed. So let me go to
Honestly, I was a Buffy movie person, and the series, I couldn't get. The series was too serious for what the movie was.
Have you ever seen the post-credit scenes where Paul Rubens goes through his death scene for half an hour?
That's what he was doing. That's what Rich was just doing.
I know that's what Rich was doing because I recognized it. Oh, heavenly!
Yeah, and me being the age I am, going, oh my god, I can't.
We're the ultimate race. We can do anything. Oh yeah, clap.
Just because I'm part of the Harry Mole committee, or it's been years since I've seen it, so I will quote it right. But
okay, that prompted another memory from the time.
No, my goose is totally loose. So come on, all you hog fans, and shake your caboose. That's the beginning of the movie.
Oh.
There is a character actor whose voice grates on my nerves. He's actually an excellent actor. He's actually pretty funny doing stand up. It's just his voice it's like fingernails on a chalkboard to me.
Emo?
Are you going to share the name of this person?
I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't. But he had a part in Ford Fairlane where somehow or another he wound up getting electrocuted. And I rewatched that scene over and over and over again because let him fry.
See, I always think about Vince Neil rolling down the hill, which makes me crack up every time I think about it.
Think about talking with Zuzu pedals. It was kind of like masturbating with a rusty cheese grater. Slightly amusing, but mostly painful.
Okay. I have no reaction.
I told you to dress nice, not nice.
Okay, now I flash to a totally different movie.
Yes.
I probably should watch it again because I really like that movie.
Oh, okay. Now I had to look up who it was he was talking to me about. Duck.
There was a movie with a fellow that later became famous for several other roles, and it was called Top Secret, I do believe. And it was in the vein of the airplane movies where there was not a straight line to be had in the entire
We must, in our own ways, learn to deal with the adversities in our life.
Wait, I'm getting Real Genius and Top Secret confused, but they both have Val Kilmer. That happens.
Yeah, Real Genius is the one where this was filed under H for toy.
Top Secret did not involve a laser. Okay.
No, I know. I've seen them both. I was just crossing my Val Kilmer movies, so.
Hey, it happens. But still, This was back when he was still a child actor, basically.
Both of them were. So was Real Genius. They were both very, yeah. Now I'm hungry
Okay,
for
now
popcorn.
somebody
I'm
say
thinking of
something else that'll set me off in a totally different direction.
Now I'm hungry for popcorn because of Real Genius.
But not an entire house full.
Okay, the part that never
then
made sense
again-
to me. Okay, so this is the realistic part of me thinking about this movie that was very unrealistic in so many ways. That the fact that the popcorn burst the windows, so there was glass in with the popcorn, and people were bagging the popcorn up and taking it home to eat.
And what was the unrealistic part?
The fact that there was glass. Hi, Joe. Have fun passing out. The fact that there was glass in the popcorn that people were taking home to eat. For some reason,
sure-
that's what I fixated on in that movie.
I'm sure they could tell the difference. Although there was an awful lot of popcorn and not that much glass by comparison.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the windows burst outward, so the glass was outside, and the popcorn was still in the house. So you start in the hallway and you clear as many rooms as possible without going outside.
Right, but okay, I'm just. That
that's-
movie came out as in what, the 80s, and I was very young, and that's the one thing I fixated on as a child in that movie.
That's my fan wank, and I'm sticking to it. So
All the
And yet
things
I
that's
love this
wrong
kind of
with
movie.
that scene, and that's what you fixated on.
Yeah, is people. That's what I mean. It was just random that people were.
yeah, you were worried about people's safety.
Yes,
Rather than the comedic value of bagging up popcorn that was being popped by an orbital laser.
that looked like a big old Jiffy Pop.
Well, yeah, where do you think they got the idea? Oh, wow. They still make Jiffy Pop. I
Yep.
saw it in the grocery store the other day. I'm going, Orville Redenbacher didn't put y'all out of business? Okay, there's got to be nostalgia involved.
A lot of it, I think. There is a show, I think it's on the History Channel. It's the history of food or something like that. Ted watches it quite often. And I think they had popcorn on there. I think it was Jiffy Pop or was it Pop Secret and Orville? I can't remember which two that they did, but that's a pretty good series, actually.
There are a lot of things in that vein that are really well done and thought-provoking at the same time, especially if it's not part of your personal history, which for us, a lot of it is. But there are things that folks who are new to reality may not realize were once a thing.
I think last week was the history of peanut butter.
Oh, wow. That goes back a ways.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it wasn't like the history of it. It was like the guy who started Peter Pan, he got basically ousted from the company, and so then he went and started Skippy. And then in the meantime, Jif came along, and it just kind of talks about how that all the competition and stuff was quite. It's an interesting series.
What's really weird is the most peanut butter I buy these days is the totally organic stuff. And it's for the dog. No. Lindsay will take a rawhide bone that the dog has already chewed one end off of and dip it in the peanut butter, and go, okay, take it. Not in the kitchen. Take it to the other carpet, and the dog will, and just sit there and eat the peanut butter off of the rawhide bone, and just be so sweet and well behaved for hours because she got a treat.
They have the Kongs that you can put like stuff in. When I worked at the shelter, we used to put peanut butter in the Kongs and then freeze them.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was treats for the dogs.
Exactly.
Calvin loves peanut butter. Charcoal, not so much.
It's hard to find a species that doesn't right offhand, but
Well, like I tell Carl, Calvin's a boy. He's a growing boy. He'll eat anything that doesn't eat him first. She is more picky.
excuse me, I've got to look something up.
George had to always see what we were eating. It didn't matter. He had to see it, and then he would decide if he wanted to eat it or not. And some of the stuff, it was just weird. And now with what we did with George, we're like, these guys don't get human food, because George would do the tap, 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 tap every time you were eating. Like, hey, I where's mine?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, we don't want to go through that with two of them now.
Oh.
Bucky was doing that earlier. He was leaning up on me while I was eating dinner, and he's like, "Where's mine, Daddy? Where's mine?" I'm like, "You ate yours this morning. This is mine."
I told
You
Carl,
ate dinner this morning.
no feeding the cats at the table. It didn't work.
That worked really well.
Especially, and Charco will get up on one of the chairs and sit there just like a little lady and look at him.
Oh.
I imagine that if we put a little plate on the table, that she would sit there and eat it very daintily. The problem is, then Calvin would want his plate up there, and he's not so dainty when it comes to eating. And he would get up on the table to eat it.
Yeah.
There's so many times when she looks at him like, really? You're going to act like that?
Oh, boys.
Boys, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Boys. Mm-hmm. Buddy's our sloppy eater, and Georgette's our dainty one. And
we've got two of the cats, and one of them is the grandma, and when she wants water, she'll go to the water bowl, she'll stick her paw in and drink from her paw instead of sticking her face in. And it's just the cutest thing. I mean, it's like the first time that I saw otters wash their food and then eat. It's like, I worked 5 years to try and get a teenager to do this.
Did you ever see the video of the otter that was trying to eat cotton candy?
No.
No, can't say that I have.
You'd go to wash it, and it's cotton candy disappeared. I felt so bad for the little guy, because he's just like, where'd it go?
Bucky is our good boy. He will take things from your hand very gently. Bella is a shark. You have to time it just right for your release so that it will fall for her to snatch it out of the air so she doesn't take off a digit.
Yes.
And the thing is, Bella can jump. Bucky can't. Bucky just kind of, just goes back on his wide ass and just kind of wobbles a little bit like, "You gonna give me something?"
So does Barry look at them like, what are you people doing? What are you dogs doing?
Re-reference my comment about teenagers, okay? It applies here too.
He looks at
Yeah.
what the dogs are doing, and then he'll jump up on the arm of the couch, and he'll just sit there and wait, because Misty will come and bring the cat treats over, and he eats them out of Misty's hand real nicely. He's a good boy too.
No.
Now, if Carl gives Calvin, he's going to put stuff on the floor because Calvin will claw Carl in his excitement. However, I can do the very same thing, and Calvin will take it out of my hand without a single claw.
That's because he knows he can wind up on the other side of the room if he pops the claws.
That's true.
You popped
Daddy,
someone on the hiney, didn't you? At some point in time. No.
yeah. I came home to find him on the island in the kitchen and kind of helped him off.
You reinvented the catapult.
Get out of my head.
Pool noodles come in very handy too. But Carl will tell him, get down. And he kind of like, yeah, Daddy said
Whatever,
get
Dad.
down.
Daddy's
And
so
then-
cute.
Mommy will go, get your off of there. And off he goes.
Okay, trigger word. I'm getting on the floor now, Mom.
Yeah, see the bookshelves behind me? We had a little set to earlier because he got on top and I told him to get down and he's like, make me. And then I stood up and he's like, oh shit.
She gonna do it.
How I get the cat to behave is I'll look in his general direction and then I'll go and start running at him like a little toddler that sees a cat for the first time. And he's like, oh! He runs, his stripes are still there, they catch up.
Yep. Oh.
Well,
I've seen Popeye cartoons and Betty Boop, so I know exactly how that animation works.
Guess what I was reminded of? Well, technically yesterday. One of your favorites and I share a birthday, Dan. Miss Betty Page.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
I saw that on the list that you posted.
And also the author of Lolita, Nabokov.
now that one I was unaware of.
And of course, my favorite, J. Robert Oppenheimer. Because I just find it funny that they chose my birthday to be Earth Day, which also happens to be the birthday of the father of the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
Behold, I have become
Isn't it
death,
ironic?
destroyer of the worlds. Just used a nuclear bomb to light my cigarette. Ain't I a
You-
badass?
Be right back.
But yeah, it's long ago. I found the easy way to get cats to behave, and that's run at them like a toddler who's seen a cat for the very first time. And then I just go, and that voice combined with the little toddler lurch, you just see cats go, oh shit, and scatter.
George would have looked at you and went, what is your problem? I'm too damn lazy to get up and run. Buddy,
And
you
then-
just...
Then he probably would have got up and run.
No, he would have been like, yeah, dude, you're what?
And then
he was such a Garfield.
And then if I catch him, it's like, I'm going to let him and call him George.
You know, I used to get that sent to me all the time with George because of the whole I'm gonna love him and cut him and call him George. It's like, buddy, you can't barely if he's on the floor, you can't barely approach him. He just takes off running, and I think that has to do with that he was at the shelter for so long that being on the floor, if somebody was walking towards him, because he was there for 2 years, but so he'll run. Georgette's like she gets up on her either her hump or her stairs or the tower, like she get out of the way. And
Yeah,
she's so damn dainty.
Barry's fun because Barry will be like, oh, and then he'll run. And then when I catch him, he's like, no, no, no. And then he starts getting the scritch. He's like, okay.
You got me.
When
Lindsay-
we first brought
Lindsay has
Georgette,
finally named the most recent cat that was feral and is rapidly becoming non-feral. She decided since he's been alone and he isn't very social with any of the rest of the cats, his name is now Billy No Mates, which is a very English thing. And I've actually
I was
walked out.
gone Herman the Hermit.
I've actually walked out there and go, Agate, is that you? And the cat goes, no, not me. And
Daggett
walked
as
over.
in Battlestar Galactica?
Hmm?
You said Daggett?
Agate,
Oh,
as
Agate.
in the
Rock.
the stone,
no,
the jewelry sort of thing. Yes,
I thought you said Daggett as in the
I have yet to
thing
figure
from,
out my wife's
Battlestar
naming
Galactica.
conventions for the cats. Sometimes it's one thing, sometimes it's another. They all make sense. It's perfect Lindsay logic. I'm not her.
Yeah.
I like that. Perfect Lindsay logic.
sorry, I'm distracted by a very disturbing video I've never seen before. It
That's
is "Start Me Up" by the Rolling Stones.
Oh,
Oh, okay. That one's
The
that one's been
video.
out a while.
I've never seen it, and it scares me. The song I know, but the
anytime
video.
I have to see Mick Jagger, kind of, yeah, horrifies me too.
Oh,
That is
feeling-
not a
Ever
pretty
get the
man.
feeling the wrong guy was named Rob Zombie?
it's weird. This is totally like a car accident thing. I don't want to keep watching it, but can't look away.
I've seen the video. I understand what you mean.
It's the with the black background, and they're all just kind of playing and dancing around.
Mm-hmm.
And he does his
Oh.
chicken. Is he doing his chicken walk?
No, I don't know. He's just up in the like backing up.
He comes. I don't know how he
He's
thinks
wearing
this
white
is
pants
sexy,
and a striped shirt, and
but especially in Start Me Up, he puts his hands on his hip, and instead of his arms being akimbo out like this, they're back, and I'm like, and then he kind of struts, and I'm like, that's a chicken walk. Why are you doing a
now he's shaking his
Chicken-
ass.
what ass?
Well,
That man's got no body. All he is lips. That's
okay,
That's all he has.
that was totally a car accident.
Ugh. I love the Stones music, but I don't like to have to watch it. Ugly.
Just fine on the radio for you, huh?
Yeah. Hey, when Keith Richards is the prettiest one of the bunch, that says something.
Oh, I say before we brought Georgette home, she had the nickname Fizz as a play off of Fez from '70s show, which was foreign exchange student.
Mm-hmm.
She was fart in skillet, so she was Fizz.
Oh shit. Well,
She's
that's
not
like
as busy as she used to be, but she still acts busy now and then.
Yes, folks, and if you like this, please like, share, and subscribe.
tell
Try
all
to
your
keep it clean
friends.
tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
tell your dad too.
If you
Tell
like
your
this,
friend, tell your
blink
friends,
twice
Dad.
if you need assistance.
What was that, Rich?
I said, if you like this, blink twice if you need assistance.
Remember, the waitresses have been instructed with the emergency code to get you a free ride out of there with police assistance.
If you're in danger, ask us for extra pepperoni.
And if you're really
That
wanting
goes
the
over
full
really well at,
experience, hold up your
Taco
sign.
Bell, right?
Rich, hold up your sign. And if you want the full experience, just remember.
If you want the full experience, that's behind our OnlyFans site of.
Oh, I almost ad-libbed there.
If Dad had an OnlyFans site, we could go on there with him, and he would be a frickin' billionaire.
I'd have to start selling blood.
I'm sorry, there wouldn't be any pictures. It'd just be voice files.
That does enough, considering what gets
Yes,
said.
I'm aware.
Considering how many ladies just want to hear you read the phone book, dude, I'm sure that.
I'm not sure if it's a phone book or if it's the penthouse letters they keep sending.
Oh, phone book would work.
They'll be happy with phone book, recipe
Go with
cards,
it.
the ingredients in the SpaghettiO can. They don't care, dude.
The back of the back of the Cheerios box. Whatever.
It's that timber with just that Appalachian draw. I mean, that Appalachian draw. Make sure that their jars ain't as dry as they used to be. If you get my drift.
Okay. Should I tell on Carl? Yes, I should.
He's gonna watch this tomorrow, so yes, do.
When Carl watches this show, did you know you can change the speed?
He was talking about that.
He changes the speed to at 1.5 or something
1.5.
like that. The rest of it sounds more like the chipmunks, and Dan sounds like a normal person.
Really fast, kind of like
Where
this.
did you say that at earlier?
Talking at this pace right here.
Or was that during Green Room last night that he
Probably.
said? What? I remember hearing that somewhere along the line.
I want to say that was in print. I want to say I read it on my phone.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't remember. But
Maybe I should change the thing down here under my name to the Living Special Effect. Take that as you will.
Yeah.
Not the Green Room.
And I do every chance I get. Oh, wait a minute, not the green room. They were talking about naming cats. Carl named Charcoal. And I kept looking out the window for a charcoal, and all I could see was this black cat. Because in my mind, charcoal is charcoal gray.
Mm-hmm.
And in his mind, it's charcoal briquette.
Yes.
Well, Charlotte Cole.
Well, that's after they found out that it wasn't a dude after all.
Hey,
because originally you guys thought charcoal was a dude, and then at the vet, it's like it's a chick. It's like,
no, we thought
Cole.
we thought Calvin was a girl.
Okay.
And so did the vet the first time. And then something dropped. We knew Charcoal was a female because
nothing dropped.
Just before she came in, she was Prager's.
So this is going to come off really weird without context. So I am going to provide the context before I say what I'm about to say. So Barry's grandmother got pregnant a couple of times, so we had a bunch of kittens from that. The second litter that Midnight had, one of the kittens that survived was a girl. We named her Stormy. Stormy had a couple of litters on us as well. And then, of course, Priest, which is Barry's father, was born in the same litter as Stormy. And then, the litter that Barry was part of was born and stuff like that. So I got really good at sexing kittens. Not you perverts.
No, I know.
Going, yeah, this one's a boy. Yeah, this one's a girl. Yeah, that one's a boy. Yeah, that one's a girl. Because of course, as we're giving away,
for this.
People are like, okay, I want a boy, I want a girl. So remember, you got to get him fixed, or he might start, making the house smell funny.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's. So I was sitting there playing World of Warcraft, and my middle daughter, well, my eldest daughter, my middle child, comes running in the room and shoves a cat's ass and genitals in my face, going, "What's this one, Daddy?" Too close to my face. Seriously, it was close enough that were it any closer, you wouldn't tell where its butthole and my nose one ended and one began. It's like, how about saying, "Hey, Dad, can you tell me what this is when you get a chance?" Because I was actually in the middle of a fight. Of course. Yeah. I love my children. But yeah, so it's.
And what was it?
It was a girl.
Okay. When I worked at the shelter.
That was one of the stray babies that she found, and anyways.
Yeah.
When I worked at the shelter, they were going to do a naming contest. So one of the fosters brought in a litter of kittens, and generally we would try to, unless we knew it was a boy or girl, we would try to go with gender neutral names. But we were doing this naming contest, and so I was like, "Can you figure out what they were?" And I'm like, "Okay, guys, I got done sexing the cats, and everybody's other people, shelter people working at the shelter, were like, you were doing what?" And then they were laughing, and I'm going, "Sexing cats."
Oh.
We're like, "What's that?" I'm like, I was trying to figure out if they were boys or girls. It's called sexing an animal.
It's basically a gender reveal party for your pet.
I know. I was just like, I could not believe the people that worked at a shelter were like, they were giggling about it like 10-year-olds when I used the word sexing the cats.
10-year-old or just a plain dirty mind putting another word in there?
No, they're just idiots.
There's one of the families that do canal boat videos that I watch. It's Ben and Emily and their cat Alan. Ellen turned out to be female after she got used to the name, so they never bothered to change it. So now there's a totally new gender-neutral name, and a beautiful little, mostly black calico cat. And what's really weird is she has really adjusted to being on a boat. Every 2 weeks, they have to go several miles away from where they previously were. That's the rules. They will stop. They will moor the boat. Ellen will get out, especially if there's woods nearby that she can go and wander into and terrorize the wildlife,
Do her thing.
and then come back. You know, I'm going. You taught a cat to come back to what is essentially
A mobile home.
a mobile home, an extremely mobile home. Um, this is like you've got a camper van and you go and park someplace totally random, open the door, let the cat out. When it's time for supper or whatever, cat comes back.
Hmm.
Can you train people how to do this?
Yeah, but there's some people you don't want to come back.
No,
Now,
no. I mean, can you train people how to have a cat that will come back? I mean, seriously, they're amazing people. Um, Ben is a musician. He's got several albums out. He does stuff that sounds like a mix of um, Hawkwind, Neil Young, and T-Rex in all the best ways. And I'm going, dude, you got to put links up to your music more often. This is some good stuff. I mean, seriously.
I'm just trying to push that together in my head, and it's not mushing well.
You would basically have to hear his voice and the music he does because he plays half a dozen different instruments, keyboards, guitar, banjo, harmonica, and composes his own lyrics as well, does the vocals as well. Um, it's a very kind of folky sound without being obnoxiously so, which a lot of American folk singers go into the obnoxious. But Benny does it really well. It's a nice blend. It's totally once you know it's him, you can pick out his voice in anything that he has done, and it's very definitively eclectic, but nice. And that's a very bad word to use for a musician's voice, but
Mhm.
it's not grating, it's not disturbing, it's not overpowering. It fits real well with all the instruments that he provides. And uh,
Oh dear, excuse me.
go right ahead. Um, I've been
Don't
yawning for
start that.
I've been yawning for the past 6 hours, and we ain't even been live. Uh,
No, back to your British friends with the cat. Being calico, they should have known that it was a female because most calicos, 99.9% of them are female.
Between that
well,
and
That's why
well,
we thought Calvin was a female because when he was little, he was mostly calico with white. And go, okay, it's a female. We'll call him Callie.
well,
Uh,
um,
mm, but now he's mostly white with bits of calico on him.
Alan is mostly black with orange and white highlights, but I mean these are subtle highlights. She's mostly a black cat,
That's kind of
but in
unusual.
in the calico family,
Hmm.
obviously because of her coloring, and she's very affectionate. The only problem they had was whenever Benny starts making bread, he's got to make sure that it's out of reach. Otherwise, she's going to go and lay on the towel across the bread pan while it's rising, and you're going to
And it
get
won't rise.
you're going to get a cat-shaped impression in your breads. Um, lost Rich on that one.
But if you're talking about like the genders of cats, most 80% of orange cats are male, only 20% are female.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So we have a little
And
girl that's, Georgette's orange, and then Buddy, with him being a ringtail, that's a specific breed. Where did Rich run off to?
he's
Oh, he
right
ran
there.
back. That he's a ringtail, so we have two very unique cats in our home.
Well, one of the things that I learned accidentally while I was dating college girls, most male orange cats are not fertile. They are sterile. Most orange male cats. Um, I was not aware of this. It turns out that yes, this is a thing. It's very rare for an orange cat that is male to actually be fertile. Now they don't know this, and the habits get ingrained. But you know,
Well, that's
there's
going to help with population somewhat.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say just because you can't produce a litter doesn't mean you don't have to you have to give up trying.
Yeah.
well, that's the thing. That is the actual thing. Yes, and
I
you do have
mean,
to worry about spraying and all the other normal male cat stuff. But you don't have to worry about an excessive litter showing up unexpectedly, unless you have that one rare one that is actually fertile.
Well,
I
mine
mean,
isn't because he was fixed almost as soon when he was ready because he was born at a shelter. So I mean, he was fixed before.
well, that'll help. Even if he wasn't infertile, that'll help with the spraying.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
yeah,
Carl's been infertile for years, but he never stopped trying.
that's
And on a female's point of view, we don't want to stop. Never mind. Okay. Hi, Dad.
I was just thinking about the spraying problem.
he doesn't have that problem anymore.
He doesn't mark his territory.
Barry's not supposed to have that problem anymore.
Uh-oh. Does he once in a while?
More than once in a while. But I think also part of it is that I don't think my youngest changes the litter over in his box often enough. I think it gets. I think there's too much of the urine smell in there. It's too strong, and he's like, nope.
Yeah.
Because right after a complete litter change, he's fine.
Cats are really picky if you don't do that.
Yeah,
And
just
yet
because we can't smell it doesn't mean he
they
can't
can't.
smell it.
Yeah.
Speaking of smelling, I mean, they won't drink they won't drink tap water. We have to give the cats bottled water.
Well, yeah.
We had to give George bottled water. We're like, oh, good. We don't have to give the cat bottled water. These two weren't drinking their water, so we had to start giving them bottled water again.
That unlike dogs that have to be trained, a cat will train themselves to go to the litter box. We didn't even have to show Charcoal where the litter box was. She sniffed it out herself and went in there first time.
the worst trouble I had litter box training a cat. Had to catch them just prior to the act, pick them up, carry them to the litter box, set them down in there, and go, shit here. One time was all it took.
Yeah.
We brought the kids home. We took them both downstairs, dropped them in the box. And this is where you guys go to the bathroom, and we've never had an issue.
And if you
Bill?
have a mama cat, she'll show her kittens.
Yes.
This is where we go.
George used to get dingleberries, and that's the only time that we would find things out of the litter boxes if he had a dingleberry that,
Mm-hmm. And you
So,
can't,
yeah.
This
you
is
can't
not
blame them for that.
Oh,
this
God,
is
no, we
not
never
a word I
did.
usually associate with cats, but thank you for the warning.
What? Cat get dingleberries.
Yeah. When I was watching April's kitty cat, she, Sam is getting old. She's 16 years old. This might not be long for this life, but so we have to watch out for those little signs. And I would text April, okay, yeah, when I went here today, this is what we did. And I'm like, yeah, I found one little bit on the floor, but I don't think she went there. I think it was a dingleberry that finally, because of where it was, I think it got caught on the little bed that she had there and fell off. But Uncle Carl's a good uncle. He'll change the box for them while we're there, because she only likes 6 poops in her litter box, and then she's ready. Change that, so she can't go the whole week without that.
And
you can't just clean it. You have to totally dump that out and put fresh in.
It just occurred to me that when I said when I was dating college girls, I need to point out that was the age I was at the time as well.
Sure. We believe you. Yeah.
Tell us another one, old Dan. When you were college age, so what?
That's what I like about those college age
or
girls.
700 BC.
1978
It was
That's
a good year.
was
Dan
was
loved
when
about them college girls. He got older, they stayed the same age.
1978 was the last year I was in college.
Me too.
I ran out of money and had to go get a job.
Yeah. Me too.
We're not going to talk about 78. I don't remember it because I wasn't there.
1978 is when I got my first Dungeons and Dragons set.
78.
I hope my dad is watching this now, because I'm going to say, because in 1978, that's when I was conceived. Love you, Dad.
When we were first married, we had a writers group here locally, and we had this young lady that it's so funny because her parents approved of us and approved of her coming to the group because it got her out of the house. They did not support her writing, but this got her out of her bedroom, out of the house. This woman is so intelligent. She actually speaks Latin and Welsh fluently.
I can speak Pig Latin.
When you know those tests you take to show, you can be good for a teacher, or you can be good for this. It did not narrow her field down. She was good for everything. What she wanted to do,
he said.
Yeah, what she wanted to do was become that person who they hired for movies to go, no, you can't wear that. That's not period. But that didn't come out. But we encouraged her writing, And one time she was in the brain, that thing that the high school has for the smarter students, the brain bowl or whatever it's called,
Knowledge bowl.
something like that. And we went in to watch her one time, and evidently her parents had never been there before because one of the teachers thought we were her parents. And we're like, no, we're just friends. And afterwards, Cora was huffing about, I'm not old enough to be her father. And I'm like, think about it, sweetie. When she was born, I was 17 and you were 14.
Technically, yeah.
It's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, damn. Then the state decided that in order to be, he was a counselor at that time. In order to be a counselor, you had to have your master's, and if you wanted to do that, they'd send you back to school. So we took advantage of that.
Yeah.
He went back to get his master's in psychology, and all the college girls were calling him sir. He was not happy with that either.
Actually, I just realized back when I was in college,
Mm-hmm.
the voice was working then.
Oh, I'm sure. Especially
Not
in college.
reliably so, but
Yeah, especially in college, there's a dearth of smooth voices, shall we say.
you know, if I could bottle this, I'd probably be able to retire early, but
I'm sure.
nope, I see the butterflies throbbing again.
The butterfly is not bruised.
Not my fault.
Oh.
Rich is like, the what? Rich, have you ever bruised a butterfly?
But I'm particularly fond of the late 70s.
Music was good then.
Music was good. The year I turned 19, Illinois dropped the drinking legal age to 19. The year I turned 21, they changed it back to 21. So I was able to drink legally from 19 to 21. Yeah, it was a good time. And I was dating older than college age guys, so they had the money to buy me drinks.
Okay, guys, well, I think I'm going to head to bed. I'm getting tired.
Okay. There's only 45 minutes left.
Only 45 minutes left, plus the 4 hours that it's going to go after.
Not necessarily. You notice there's nothing but beer on the sideboard tonight, so.
No offense, I wasn't paying attention. Were you too busy licking Kraken?
He's out of Kraken, remember? Unless he's bought some today.
And actually, there was still a little bit left, and I don't know if I should tell that story.
Well, now you have to tell that.
Yeah,
story.
I mean, you can't leave us hanging here.
Evidently, after I had the little spill, I was toting a bottle around the house with me to make sure I didn't spill any more.
But there's still those sticky spots, huh?
And Lindsay noticed and actually went and put it away so that I wouldn't spill anymore. And I haven't looked. I don't know how much. I've probably got more gin than I do Kraken right now. But I haven't felt in the mood to indulge. Just the regular soda pop beer has been quite fine. Um, it's not like I'm actively trying to become intoxicated. Otherwise, I'd be drinking a different beer. Um, this stuff is oh, I can't say that. This isn't the green room. Let me. Oh, thankfully I can self edit. Probably couldn't Thursday. Probably couldn't Friday. Um,
And it was so much fun.
for you, yeah. My
No,
mom
really,
has
he almost
access to
cost
you
me.
now. Huh?
I plead the fifth.
Well, evidently I drank one.
And spilled some of that.
I think it was more than a fifth.
I'll be punished for that in the fullness of time, shall we say. Uh, what was the old what was the old saying? When your time has come, Saint Peter is going to hold you by the heels and dip you into a barrel of every drop of alcohol you've ever spilled. And if you drown, you drown.
Hadn't heard that one.
So that's why
And
Irish people knock stuff over when they get intoxicated.
hey, I'm just sitting there
So they
going,
get one last nip before the pearly gates.
I'm just sitting there going, wait a minute, hold my beer. I ain't seen this stuff in ages. We're going in.
Cover me, boys.
I was trying to not say something out loud. Because guess what? This is
Not the
That's the
green.
green room.
The answer is yes.
You were worried about a sfizzerinctum of booze?
I actually used that word today on Pod was there was a draw stream on Pop's channel that Doc was doing, so I popped onto that and we were talking and I said something about spizzerinctum and they just lost it. I was like, wow. They're like, that's not a real word. I'm like, yeah, it is. It's a real word.
It's a real word. It just doesn't mean what you think it means.
Uh-huh. And so then they were making up words that sounded like it, and it kind of like what we did the first time I introduced that word to us. So spizzerinctum.
Doc's channel was a hoot.
Ah,
I don't know about today, but when I popped over Thursday for, I think it was Thursday. I don't know. Last week bled all into
Wednesday
one
for the
freaking day.
coffee shop.
Okay, yeah. Wednesday is when it was.
I remember it.
And it's too bad he's, or at least folks he's associated with are so in the pocket of CG, and but it is what it is.
I'm trying to think which ones he's even who's in CG.
A couple of times CG was mentioned during that. It was towards the end.
Okay.
And honestly, I'm willing to give anyone a look over, but if they are lap dancing on EVS's crotch like certain individuals do, I just have to walk away from that. Doesn't seem Doc is. So I really want to read his Pariah. Was it Pariah Blood and Mud?
But yes, he got funded.
So I'm really interested in seeing that.
Yeah.
But then again, you know.
But you got to remember too, like when you get into CG, Mike Jimmy's on CG.
Well, like I said, I'm willing to look
Like,
at, you know, there are certain individuals that it's like, all right, they're just part of it, but they're good people. Mike Jimmy,
right?
Really, really good example. But others are
Not
like
good people.
too much like EVS.
They're too much. I was like brown nosing.
I tried to look at some of the videos that EVS did, and just I am glad I was not face to face with the man. I would have been in jail and enjoyed it. Just people that are that big of a bully, and EVS is a bully. People that are that big of a bully and too frightened to do it to the person's. Behave myself. I was about to toss a different F word in there in front of face, but you know, not to, man enough to be a bully to someone's face. He's got to do it so far behind the scenes that of something that someone's not going to watch and stuff like that. He's so much of a bitch he can't even bully right. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, go figure. Weird. Played Dungeons and Dragons. You know, handful of learning. I don't want to say disabilities because I had the perfect storm that actually made me able to memorize shit faster than other kids did. But they were still hurdles I had to learn how to use, and you know, and being overweight and you know, just being an IT geek on top of it. It's just I've got a low threshold for bullies, and it's before 2020, and I had the turn that ended up in the neuropathy in the legs and all that stuff. I still have my limp and everything. Before that, I got to the point where I can take care of bullies if I really wanted to, and sometimes I had to. Now, best I can do is hook them with my cane as I'm falling. I might go down, but you're going down with me. And if I can angle this right, I'll be the one on top. The bigger we are, the harder we fall, but sometimes we fall on you. That it's actually been one of my anti-bullying tactics since I was probably like 9 or 10 years old. The bigger I am, the harder I fall, but you know what? I can aim myself so I land on you, and it's not going to feel good. Anyways, sorry, I digress.
No, it's okay.
Yep.
I didn't mean to turn this into Rich's rant. Never mind.
It's all right.
You have your own channel for that, Rich. Jeez.
And that's exactly what
I'm just I am absolutely teasing, which is by the whole. Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
It honestly, I like hanging through that channel. I've met Lori, Carissa, and Doc are kind of the three that I've befriended the most. So
I think it was Lauren or something, Doc, and I don't remember the other gentleman's name. that was
Tanner.
on with you. They all seem like good folk.
Yeah. Lori's really. It was funny because I was just looking here. Is that she sent me a postcard from one of her characters.
Oh, that's nice.
And
Like I got it in the mail today. I was like, that is so cool.
I want to read her comic too. That's the one that's the
Death
Path of the
doesn't
Pale
die.
Rider.
Yes, death doesn't. You don't die. You die, but your spirit stays in you, and you have to go through the whole decay process, and you don't actually die.
That's
It's an interesting
a
concept.
process right there. Yeah.
And then Pops was in the
that's a
trailer
good
for that.
plot
That was
point to have.
hilarious.
Oh, the ad when they're talking about why when broke death, and Pops is in that one.
And to follow up on the breaking news that John was talking about earlier, something just came across the bottom of my screen that the U.S. Embassy staff in Sudan has successfully been evacuated.
Good. That's a sad situation.
What? Okay, what happened in Sudan? I've not watched the news at all.
There's a civil war going on.
Okay.
There's a coup, and there's two generals that are fighting over power.
So we're gonna go and let you guys have your little.
Yeah, the U.S. Embassy staff's like, y'all can do whatever you want. We're gonna be over here. When you figure shit out, we'll maybe talk.
Well, I guess they have killed some Americans, and but we're not the only ones that's pulling out, I believe.
Well, anytime, anywhere in the Middle East, there's unrest in the country, it's a good idea for U.S. Non-military folks, non-fighting folk, to go ahead and take a step back, maybe a couple of places later.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in that situation. If you know that shit's going down, don't put yourself there. Get out.
Nope. There's sometimes when diplomacy means I'll see you later.
Well, sometimes, we need to take a step back and let them figure shit out before we come back in and go, are we cool still?
Right.
Because, it's not like, they haven't done bad things to civilian, foreigners, especially, us pale folk that have the various flavors of American accent. We're not always the best received in that part of the world.
Yeah.
I was really going to leave this time, but then Dan poopied. Dan better unpoopy pretty damn quick.
Oh, poof. App with an F on the end. Never mind.
Didn't we talk about Poofy? That was Green Room that we talked about Poofy, didn't we? Why I say that. Or was that... I don't remember.
I've slept since then.
I don't remember if it was Green Room or if it was Last Man Standing
on Thursday night.
Thursday night, yeah.
Why I say I'm going to poof goes back to Excite BP.
Excite.com. The past few weeks have just blurred.
It's really blurred for Dan.
The last 48 hours have blurred for Dan.
Now,
which with everything going on, here's my virtual hug to you.
Thank you. With last night and today, getting the sleep that I got, I'm feeling a little bit better, but I'm probably not going to sleep for another couple hours at the very least after this ends. But I've got to work on that story that I was talking about earlier, and a couple of other things. So
he's unpoofed.
Oh yeah, okay, you're unpoofed.
I would take that as a compliment.
Kelvy!
Say hi. Say hi to
that was funny as I went Kelvy and Rich Head went boing.
Kitty, kitty.
Hey, you're my Cali boy, huh?
Alfie.
I may never be
Oh,
able
oh,
to
oh,
use
oh,
that
oh, oh.
particular line again, but it's so much colder in the rest of the house than it is here
No.
in my
We know that
office.
room is full of hotness.
Exactly.
Thank you. Oh, you're talking about Dan.
Well, this whole room is full of hotness.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah. I'm not going to be able to say is it warm in here? Is it just me? Because it's evidently just me. Because the rest of the house is like
What?
an icebox.
Donna, do we need to whisper on this and go?
If you're ever in Germany,
Okay, I am gonna go to bed though. Good night, guys.
Night,
you
night.
need to be
Right.
careful about using the language to say that you're warm, you're hot, you're cold, because ich bin heiß means you're horny. Ich bin kalt means that you're frigid. And then ich bin warm means you go both ways. So, oh god, I don't remember exactly. It's ich.
Don't scratch. No.
You actually have to say, I'm free. I'm freezing me if you're saying you're cold, stuff like that. I can't remember the exact phrasing for that because that was 30 some years ago in high school. But I do remember the most important German phrase I needed to know. Ist deine Tochter 18 bitte? Is your daughter 18, please? Although I don't really need that one anymore.
Yes, you do. If you'd want to stay out of jail, you really need that one.
Well, no, I'm hopelessly monogamous, so
Well, so am I, but I'd still run up against. That was a bad way to put that, but
the next best line is "Fichti nas felan li feita." Fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
I could use that one much more frequently.
Yeah.
Of course, what was it Kennedy said? I'm a jelly donut.
Ich bin ein Berliner. Which Berliner is a jelly donut. So I don't remember the proper way to say that either, but Germans got, even though the way he said it, it's just the purists of translators are like, you just called yourself a jelly donut, but all the Germans are like, we get it.
Yeah.
We're jelly
So
donuts too.
Yeah.
So apparently, one of the favorite hazing tricks for American soldiers in the late 80s and early 90s for new folks coming into bases in Germany is to have them go down to the bakery and say, what we want is there's these just wonderful pastries called Wolfons, and we want those. They're going to probably try to pass off something that's kind of a really cheap, just not so good pastry called a Dafon. So we want the Wolfons, not the Dafons. Just argue to make sure that you get those Wolfons. So these new recruits would go down to those bakeries, and they would have their little arguments going back and forth, where they're saying that they want, ich möchte 12 Wolfons. And of course, the bakery person's like, Dafon. What it is basically you're going down there without pointing at anything, saying, I want 12 of that. And they're replying, of what? And then you're again going, of that.
This is why when I am in a situation where I am linguistically challenged, being able to go 12, number 12, number 12. That's what I want, number 12.
Well, Carl has learned the two most important sentences that he needs to know in German for when we go. Sei Bier, bitte. 2 beers, please. And ich kann mich waschen.
Ich this by beer.
Yeah,
Sorry, what
ich
was that last
kann
one?
mich waschen. Ich kann mich waschen. I can wash myself. That was one of the sentences in the German lesson that we took.
I can wash myself.
I can wash myself, yes.
I can see how that would wind up being useful in Japan, but Germany,
I know.
Mr. Witzman, this way to the showers, please.
No, you don't. You don't take that direction in Germany. No, they have a history. It's not a very nice one, but they have a history.
Here, let me show you to the Evans.
This is the wrong kind of bakery. Oh, Lord.
I'm going to hell for those, and I am German.
I am in doo-doo for this one. Yeah. And somebody's still watching. Oh, my God. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's me.
Okay,
if you're looking at YouTube, yeah.
Oh.
So in the private chat, I tossed up a link earlier. It's because we're talking about naming things. So the last Gen Con I went to, the artist, very talented woman by the name of Ruth Thompson. She does a beautiful dragon line. I own several. But she had just finished the dragon before coming down to Gen Con. She had no idea what the hell she was going to name it, so she actually held a contest. It was free to enter. All you had to do is put in your name and put in what you thought the dragon's name should be. And whoever won got a free print of the dragon. So I'm like, what the hell? Scribbled my name, scribbled down Nightshade, which is the name of one of the characters that I write, my favorite character that I write, that is very much my wish fulfillment itself. And I'm like, that seems like a perfect name for it. Went on my way. Last day of the con, swing by, and I'm like, did anyone ever decide, did she ever decide on what the name of the dragon is? And she's like, yeah, Nightshade. I'm like, oh, cool. Who won? Because, I figured, someone else might have already put the name in, and whoever put it in apparently I was the first one to put it in. And he goes back, let me see. And he goes back, and he comes up, and he's like, Rich, you. I'm like, cool. So yes, I actually got to name that dragon.
Cool.
And technically it's named after me.
Oh.
Pardon me.
Yes, me too, because my batteries are running down. And they weren't fully charged when I got up this morning.
Well, as I'm not the governor of either of your guys' states, sorry, I can't. Sorry, bad jokes.
I figured it was a reference I didn't get. Some movie I didn't watch or something.
Well, no, it's Donna said, "Pardon me," and then you said, "You too." I don't have the power to pardon either of you guys. I'm not, the governor of your guys' states.
Oh, don't worry. He's a union member. I'll get off scot-free.
Actually, in in Illinois, it's usually the governors who need the pardon. What? Three in the last decade or so?
I do believe that's universal.
No, actually gone to prison.
3 of the last 5, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it has been.
Well, one of these days they will get smart and they will go,
Won't be able to get caught.
all of the candidates for this particular office need to report to the penitentiary right now. We will have a government in absentia, and y'all can serve out your sentence. And we won't
Apparently,
charge you
all
with
the intelligent
anything more
members of
serious.
the Democratic Party that are politicians in Illinois have moved to other states.
Now I see why you used intelligent in that sentence.
I'm not saying Democrats aren't intelligent, but the ones making laws in Illinois are
not. Yeah.
Are a special kind of folk. Bless their hearts.
That's one way of putting it.
I have such a problem with that phrase because somebody used it on Lindsay at a convention, and then she found out.
Did she say it in the good way or the bad way?
More than one meaning.
I can't see. Okay, actually, I take that back. There are a lot of assholes out there, but I mean, the way you describe Lindsay, I can't see anyone saying it to her in the bad way.
This person, was flirting with me, and I didn't realize it. But
okay.
And this person also
all right, yeah, okay, now I can see it. If someone is coveting thy neighbor's stuffs.
Yeah, I almost went too far with that because I could still get in trouble. Let's just say their surgeon was really good, and Bob looked nice in that dress. And I didn't know. Nor did I care. It wasn't important to me. I was not trying to get a date with Bob.
Bobby now.
I think the point was a little too subtle. Something got Bob.
So when I first started supporting the firm, so long ago, we were a remote call center, and the firm has a photo database of all the employees. So you could actually go there and look the person up so that you can actually get an idea of who you're talking to, stuff like that. So we thought that was a very cool tool, although a couple members of the help desk, not me, and honestly not me, were using it as a hot or not. But anyways, we didn't have a chance to look this person up in advance. So a guy I was working with, Chris, answers the phone, and you know the individual's voice on the other end of the line was maybe 1 or 2 octaves above Barry White. Very low voice. Hi, this is Bobby Turk. Rattles off their problem, and Chris goes, all right, sir, we'll get this taken care of for you right away. Sir, I'm not a man.
Well, you can play one on TV, honey.
He apologized and everything, and then we looked her up after. We swear she was either a couple of operations and procedures on just the one side of the line or the other. And of course, it shows Roberta Turk. All right, your voice is deeper than mine.
Yeah, you should be used to that.
Hey, my voice isn't that high. I'm only when I do Mickey Mouse. But
I was actually referring to she should be used to that.
Yeah. But yeah. When your voice is deeper than mine, and you just say Bobby, I don't think Bobby as a girl's name in that capacity. I'm thinking, okay, this is a dude. And in the picture, she had slightly less facial hair than I do. Actually, okay, she had a hell of a lot less facial hair than I do, but there was some facial hair in the image. So it's like, really? Are you sure? So yeah, it's Chris got a verbal for that. But it was basically, yeah, we're telling them we wrote you up. We're telling them we're talking to you. Don't worry about it. And within like another couple of months, we got word that Bobby was no longer a part of the team. And back then, Catton's layoff policy sucked. You found out by a FedEx packet that arrived when you got home. But
that's nasty.
When we found out about it, there were a couple of technicians that actually got up and ran a victory lap around our area because they were just a nasty person to work with and deal with. Yeah, it's a lot of pepcac. Problem exists between keyboard and chair.
Yeah.
And I do have to say that I have known a large number of folks that transitioned from one direction to the other, and it didn't make a damn bit of difference to me. They're nice folks. So that's how it was important to me, was they were nice folks.
Yeah, I've got one that's trying to figure out if they need a transition or if there's a way to transition to what they want to be.
Hey, and I wish them all the best. That's a difficult decision to make sometimes.
And I love it because they realize they're 15. They have no clue what the future is going to hold. So, it might be a phase. It might be something real. They don't know which way that they want to jump, if they want to jump at all.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to figure stuff out, and they are wise enough to realize this because I sat down and had a conversation. I'm like, I am not going to do any type of hormone therapy for you. I am not going to do any type of surgical procedures for you. When you are older and you can make a mature decision,
this is the wrong age period to be making.
I'll help you the best I can. But right now,
irrevocable decisions. Yeah.
It's hell. I know people who are my age still trying to figure that shit out. On a 15-year-old, little much. I don't want them to make a choice they can't come back from until they're old enough to realize what happens when you take that step. Because there's all sorts of stuff going on, and it's you think you've got the was it body dysmorphia? Is that I think what it's called?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is.
You think you got that now, but if you start hacking things off, you're going to have even more because your body's used to being a certain way. I want my child to be happy. I want my child to be healthy.
Yes, definitely.
But the thing is, they're still a child. And anyone that's like, oh, a 5-year-old wants to be a girl, put them on this. They're 5.
They're
Yeah.
5.
When I was 5, I knew people who wanted to be a fire truck. Does that mean, all right, slap axles and wheels on this some bitch? No, it's, it's.
No. There's a point when being a good parent is going. You're not quite emotionally mature enough.
Sometimes we have to say no.
Big decision.
And sometimes we have to say, not yet.
Yep.
And those are the two things that so many people do need to learn is no and not yet. I need to write that down. That needs to be a rant. Or a ramble. Or a rumination. Whatever the crap I'm calling them any time that I'm doing them.
Reverberation. Because it's got echoes.
No, reverberation is when I have too much bean dip. And we bring it back to fart humor.
Hey, we're right on up there with
Stupid o'clock.
Some classic Doctor Who episodes. Well, no, not classic, but not classical, but
Red Nose Day.
No,
because you got the Red Nose Day one with Rowan Atkinson and I can never remember the actor's name. But he was playing the master, and they were.
I know it quite well. Yes, I know that one quite well, actually.
That's the one where it ends with the Doctor regenerating into Joanna Lumley.
Dalek bumps. Woo! I can feel the on switch. No, honey, that ain't quite right.
So there, we do have canon that the Doctor can be a woman. So there, all you haters that say the Doctor can't be a woman, go back to Red Nose Day.
Yeah, really. Argue with Joanna Lumley. I dare you.
I'm going to hell for that one.
Just for that one?
Yeah, we'll be on the short bus.
I'll tell you what, when I was still single and found that clip on the internet, that was Richie's happy time. Doctor Who had boobs? Oh my God!
I am not touching that line. You can't pay me enough. No. Moving on. How about that Babylonian Tupperware? It's hard to burp, but it lasts forever.
Oh, crap.
Oh, Lord. You know.
Mm-hmm.
At Hallowcon,
you didn't need to touch Richie's happy time. There's enough touching going on.
At Hallowcon, when we were together, I mean, I know you weren't there this last year, but the year before when you and Carl were there and I was there by myself, because, Lindsay's going to be there with me now, but it was a lot of the green room unleashed sort of situation.
Yeah, I foresee that happening this year. Um, it'll be interesting, and it'll be fun because Misty won't be able to escape it. If I get Misty to come with, I'm like, no, you're stuck in this now.
Yep.
Enjoy, my friends, because I do.
Now you're going to meet the people I hang out with. May God have mercy on your soul.
If you'll continue to let me after meeting them.
Oh, and when I ran into this past year, when I ran into Christine out walking the dog, and she thought I did not recognize her because I was being polite, and just I hadn't had my coffee yet either. Um, my brain was not firing on all cylinders. Just she thought I didn't know who she was, and I just wandered up and started talking to her. And I'm going, no, that would be rude. I knew it was you. So I'm safe walking up and just starting a conversation.
I have this knack for just strange folk coming up and starting conversations with me for no purpose. I don't know why.
Well, you do have this gentle giant sort of vibe going off sometimes.
I'm thinking that's probably it. I've always had this knack that people just like to gab at me. So I probably missed my calling as a counselor. Not necessarily a therapist or a psychologist, but just someone just to go and blab, drop their burdens, and book on out.
Mm-hmm. I could have done that too, but it'd probably come off like something from Animal House. My advice to you is to drink heavily. Well,
The bar! They took the whole bar!
Sometimes that's what you gotta do.
y'all minds if we dance with your dates?
We were just leaving.
Oh Lord, there are people out there going, "Are you crazy?" And there are people out there going, "You shouldn't say that." And I'm looking at people going, "You shouldn't say that," and going, "Did you go talk to the first people that told us we were crazy?" Okay, y'all figure it out.
Did we just sit there when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Germans? Pearl Harbor? He's on a roll.
Never mind, he's on
Yeah.
a roll. Don't stop him now. No prisoners.
Well, gentlemen, it's almost that time.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to have to tell the bedtime story, and then God only knows what's going to happen after that. I'm briefly still awake. We were not going to be on a 6-hour after show again.
Yeah, I don't have the stamina for that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you weren't watching it live, but there's a chance you will catch this later. Thank you for being here. If by some ungodly reason you think we are entertaining, Like, share, and subscribe. It's not like we're trying to get monetized, believe me.
Seek help. There are counselors near you.
I do not want commercials being shoved randomly into my show. So we shall see each other again soon. And if you're really masochistic beyond belief, I mean, Stupid Clock can be subscribed to. Last Man Standing can be subscribed to. The Green Room can be accessed if you become a member of Uncle Carl's Secret Humor Group. And
Maybe.
pass these 5 little tests. No. Once we find out you're not a bot or not a
Asshole.
That's a good word for it. Yes.
Well, you let me in.
I thought
Yes,
you were
but
just
you're
an
a
ass.
professional.
Oh, that's right. I'm the whole ass.
We're trying to keep the amateurs out.
The wannabes.
They haven't perfected the art yet. No.
So this is how you be a dick and people actually like you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Join the Secret Humor Group. Look for the link to the Green Room on the Secret Humor Group's Double Secret Probation webpage. And hey, I tied it into the Animal House, didn't I?
Yep.
And join in the fun there. My word of advice to you is if you're going to wind up being in the Green Room, you're going to have a very thick skin because there are very few limits to our humor.
Yeah.
That's not one of our limits. And I'm saying hour like I'm saying hour like I'm actually important in this. No, I'm just this guy. I'm a hanger on.
Run the story, Gracie.
I guess I'm gonna have to because I'm totally out of fluff to add to it. So.
You're out of word salad.
Really?
Oh, I forgot. I bought pineapple tonight. I need to eat some of that.
On that note, let's go to the party.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. overload. System will shut down. Transmission overload. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.